Okay, let's do this. Jog 3 miles before breakfast. Make it to work by 9. Run out for a salad at lunch. Oh, time to own that meeting at 3. Yes, 10,000 steps. What's next?
Fearless is not hitting snooze. That's the power of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Federal Employee Program. With more healthy benefits and tools, no one does more to help you live fearless. Sign up at fepblue.org/action by December 14th.
Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, you are now tuned in to 110 Sports Talk. I go by the name Lynn Knight. Hey,
it's the best.
Running through the competition, no competition. You don't believe it, turn us up. Sit back and listen. We bringing you the stats, all the breaking news and facts. Want the latest on the biggest trade, well this is where it's at. We don't talk it, boy, we live it, got that all around coverage. From track and field, you name a field, we got it all covered. No diss to Derrick Rose, but we don't talk that bull. Just wait till he get healthy, better watch out for them bulls. Slide over the hockey, shout out to the Kings. Salute to LeBron James, y'all both got y'all rings. Looking for the real, you tune into the best. The sportologist and Mr. TJ Sports is up next.
Thanks for tuning in to the 110 Nation Sports Show. I'm your host, Mr. CJ Sports. You can follow me at CJ Sports 1. You can follow the 110 Nation at 110 Nation. Glad to be here on this beautiful Hump Day Wednesday. Got a show in store for you tonight. Make sure you follow me at CJ Sports 1. Follow the 110 Nation at 110 Nation. Make sure you check us out on Facebook. You can check out my fan page, Mr. CJ Sports. You can check out the 110 Nation's fan page, 110 Nation Sports. Also, check out our blog site, www.the110nationsports.com. Check out the company site, www.the110nation.com as well. Oh, halfway through the week. Been a good week, I gotta say, so far in the sporting world. I know there's been tragic news out there, and gotta send our thoughts and prayers out to those affected by the mass shootings out there in San Bernardino, California. Our thoughts and prayers are with you guys, and it's a shame that we live in the society that we live in, but it is what it is, and I don't know. It's sad. But glad to be here tonight. Hopefully everybody is good and safe and getting themselves ready for Christmas. North Carolina, I'll tell you what, the weather's been very cooperative this week. It's been nothing but rain. But anyway, don't forget to check us out. Tomorrow morning, the 110 Nation Morning Show. Been back in full effect. Been glad to be able to get people's day started off on the right foot. Very excited about doing that and very excited about having that opportunity. So make sure you guys check that out. Don't forget, we got the 110 Nation Morning Show. We'll start off with that one. The 110 Nation Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Most mornings we go until 9. There's some mornings we don't get all the way till 9 o'clock if I got to work, such as tomorrow night. We'll be fine in or tomorrow morning. The show will be in about 8:45. I got to be working 9 o'clock tomorrow. We got the 110 Nation Sports Show, Monday through Wednesday, 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we also got the Racing with Big Sweat tomorrow night, our Thursday night show at 9 o'clock, 9 till whenever. And I say whenever because it depends on how many guests. Got a good lineup tomorrow night. Very excited about what we're going to see on tomorrow night's show as I'm pulling this up real quick. Also, you got Rubbin's Racing Monday nights at 7 o'clock. our NASCAR show, and I know the NASCAR season is over with, but that's not going to stop us from talking NASCAR. There's a lot of things that go on in the off season, just like in any other sport, even though they are in a very shortened off season compared to all the rest of the sports. You know, they just finished their season a week ago, and they back into testing and speed weeks, testing in January, speed weeks at the beginning of February, and the season kicks off. But tomorrow night, Racing with Big Sweat kicks off at 9 o'clock. Make sure you guys are there. I'll pull it up quicker than I did. As we slap it on here, it's the weekend of the Derby, not the Mid-Julep and the Big Hat event in Louisville, but the Budweiser and Team Cap event in Pensacola. The highly rated internet radio show, Racing with Big Sweat, Thursday, 9 to 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, presented by Snafu Seasoning and produced by the 110 Nation Sports Radio Network. We'll talk with a Snowflake Derby and a Snowball Derby driver about their pre-race goals. Listen in as your host, Steve Big Sweat Billmeyer, myself, of course, and Chris Yellow Caution Flag Creighton, along with this week's guests, Snowflake Derby driver Derek Scott Jr. and Snowball Derby driver Clay Jones. Very, very excited about having both of these guys on tomorrow night. Looking forward to having the opportunity to be on tomorrow night. I mean, it's really cool to have an opportunity to talk to these great guys and hang out and get to talk to some local drivers. So looking forward to that. So cool. What else do we got? We got NFL picks we're going to do tonight, obviously. Going to talk about this Kobe Bryant letter. You know, it's funny because people spend a lot of money to go to these basketball games. A lot of money. Lakers games are not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. And you know, like I talked earlier this week in the show, when Kobe announced his retirement, there was fans, you know, the fans there got the opportunity to receive basically a goodbye letter. Los Angeles fans who were lucky enough to be on hand for the team's game against Indiana on Sunday night received a copy of Kobe's goodbye letter, two basketballs sealed in a black envelope with a gold sticker. There's only a few thousand of these that exist, and those fans got a memento of a lifetime. And I see this a couple different ways. But before I get to those couple ways, you've got fans already selling these on eBay. But I don't understand. You spend all that money. Obviously, you're a Laker fan. You are dedicated to your team. Why? One or two things I look at it is, one, why do you not hold on to it and cherish it? Why do you not frame it? This is something only a few thousand people got. Only a few thousand out there. And then I know the flip side of this, well, that makes it a rare item. That makes it very valuable. And they're talking about for over $500 a letter right now. So I'm thinking, if you are wanting money that bad, why are you not holding on to it and let the value of him actually being retired Because just like anything else, the value of them is going to go up. If I was lucky enough to be one of those fans to go, and I'm not even a Kobe Bryant fan, if I would have happened to have been in L.A., hadn't been in the Staples Center, I guarantee you I would have that thing framed and put on a wall. And if I could actually find an opportunity to find Kobe Bryant somewhere and get him to personally sign it on top of the printouts, even more. It blows my mind how greedy and how unappreciative the fans are. And I know people say, "Oh, the players they're greedy, the fans, the players this," and I understand that. I understand that players are greedy. Not going to argue that. This is something you don't get to experience in every lifetime. This is not something that everybody gets to have. Like, you get something only a few thousand people got. Why would you not hold on to that and cherish the fact that you got something very few people and the millions and millions of people in this world, as a sports fan, you got that nobody else got. Like I said, I piece of paper that's printed out. It's not even his handwriting. It's a printout, a copy. That in all actuality ain't worth but probably maybe 50 cents. If it was me, I would probably go to one of the nicest places that sells picture frames, and on that 8.5 by 11 or 8.5 by 10, whatever size of a piece of paper is these days, I would probably have it mounted in probably one of the most fanciest done-up picture frames that's probably was poster size. Maybe have it done up with the glass hat. I would go all out. If I was one of the very few thousand people out there that got this letter, I would probably go get a very expensive. Well, when I say very expensive, I'm talking about this letter in its rarity. I would probably spend anywhere from $500 to $1,000. If I had that kind of money to piss away at a Lakers game, I had that kind of money to go buy an expensive picture frame. And I would probably get it in a poster-sized picture frame, have it mounted right in the middle of it, and I would probably have it done up with, some kind of, Kobe emblem on and number and Lakers stuff on the glass. I mean, I would go all out. This would probably be one of the centerpieces of my collection. If that was me. I would love to have the opportunity to get an email, and I'm going to put this out there just in case someone from the Laker organization happens to be listening, MrCJSports@gmail.com. Contact me. I will give you my P.O. Box number to the 110 Nation. I promise you, and I do not have money by any stretch of the imagination. As a matter of fact, we're scrambling around right now. I got 4 kids that I support. 1 biologically mine, 1 from a prior relationship, 2 in the relationship I'm in now. Taking care of Christmas. Got to move by the middle of next month due to we have a mess head for a landlord. Got 1 out of 3 vehicles that are running. Neither one of us make more than $10 an hour. And I'm not complaining how much I make, and I know I don't make a lot of money, but we're very content with what we do and very content with our schedule and our personal, and I kind of discussed this yesterday. I used to work. I used to live to work. Now I just work to live. That's it. I don't try. I am guaranteed to have my own store when the time's right, and so I am getting all my ducks in line and establishing everything that needs to be established, and then I'll worry about getting an increase in pay and everything else. But I guarantee if somebody from the Lakers organization contacts me for my email address and says, you know what, we would love to send you one of these letters that Kobe Bryant left for the fans because we heard you talk on the show. I promise you that my letter would be put up in a very safe place. As soon as I get the opportunity to get the money together, I would get a poster size, not some cheap poster cover frame, but a very expensive wooden frame about the size of a poster, literally. And I would go all out on it, and it would be the centerpiece of my office. It would be the centerpiece of when we get into our own location for the 110 Nation. It would be a centerpiece, a piece of sports artifact that I would never give up. That it would be handed down from generation to generation, be in the will, that it is not something that gets auctioned off, sold off, or anything else. That is required to stay part of the in the family. Like I said, I have never been a Kobe Bryant fan, but I have respect for what he has done to the game. I have respect on what he has done for the game, how he played the game, what he has meant to the game. And it's a downright shame that you had people that are actually fans of the Lakers, fans of Kobe Bryant, that spend that kind of money to go see them play and think nothing more of what Kobe Bryant gave a few thousand people. They think nothing more of it than selling on eBay for a few $100s. Golden State Warriors have now had the longest win streak to begin a regular season in history of four major professional sports. The Golden State Warriors are now 20-0. But yes, it kills me to see this. And yet, we're not surprised that some of the fans are already selling these letters on eBay. Head over the site, you'll find multiple options for a copy of the letter, some selling for over $500. Maybe some of these people need the cash, and if they do, we apologize for giving them grief, but that can't be true for all of them. We're not mad, Lakers fans. We're just all disappointed. If you're a sanitation worker and you find a wallet and end up and at the end of a driveway during your route, of course, the right thing to do is to give it to the owner of the house. It could be your good deed for the day, but it could also be more. Chicago Bears offensive line, Kyle Long, I saw this the other day, had his wallet returned by his neighbor worker who rewarded him with free tickets to the Bears game. And that's just some of the headlines going on. Yes, even if you're going to sell it, why not let the value of it going up a little? Washington, that kills me. Lakers win 2 games all year long. It was like 2-14 going into the game last night. Could not beat a Philadelphia 76ers team that had 0 wins in 18 tries. Washington ran the Cleveland Cavaliers up and down the court like there was no tomorrow and had them suck and win. Was up by 20 points most of the game, finished winning by 12 points. And then we got tonight where the Lakers beat the Washington Wizards. How does this make sense to me? Lakers couldn't beat the worst team in the league. Washington just beat the second best team in the league. And yet, here we are tonight, and the Lakers beat the Washington Wizards. Oh, goodness. Yes, I don't understand fans sometimes. Kobe Bryant, 31 points. I could have used those 31 points last night in my fantasy team. Kobe, what's up with that? Really could have used you last night. Killing me. John Wall back-to-back, 30-plus nights. 35 points last night, 34 points tonight. I guess he took it personal what they were saying about him on NBA TV last night. That was the reason why I took him off my fantasy team. He was averaging 16 points a game. His jump shot's horrible. He's this, he's that. I was like, well, let me get him off my team. I don't need that. And then back-to-back nights, 34 or 35 points. Good guy. But, yeah. I don't. People have gotten to be too greedy in sports. Like I said, I know that it's funny, especially the conversation we had on last night's show, and we talked about it again this morning with David Price's contract. I mean, to know that David Price, on average, is going to make about $12,000 time he intentionally walks somebody. I don't. The greediness goes on hand in hand, but where does the greediness stop? Where does it turn into being a fan thing? When do you start cherishing what you have? I have autograph stuff in there. I have Herschel Walker autograph picture. I have Austin Dillon. I had him signed a couple of years ago picture. Hell, I have a picture back in the day that got Kevin Mack's signature, Mark Navarro. It was a Cleveland Browns-Giants game. A bunch of great legends back in the day. Autographed stuff. Hell, I got to get them certified whether or not they're really Dale seniors. But I got two things of Dale seniors that are signed. I just didn't personally get them signed, and I got them off somebody. Didn't pay much for them, so, if they end up being fake, it's not like, I was, swindled or anything because I didn't pay much for everything I got. But I would love more than anything to know if they are his signature, and I would frame them quick, fast, and heartbeat. I might frame them anyway once we finally get this next move underway. I couldn't imagine. I know it's a little bit different for me than the average fan because, hell, I've spent 5 years, many hours, thousands and thousands of dollars. I don't even want to know how to tell you how many thousands of dollars I've spent this year alone, especially making the corporation. I was almost a G right out the gate. So, you can imagine where 4 or 5 races, trips, hotels, monthly fees for Spreaker, for SoundCloud, for BTR, for the web hosting, for the websites, you name it, everything that we invest into. You and this has been a light year for me. Even I guarantee at least 2,000 to 3,000, easy, probably a little bit more, but very easily that much. And as a matter of fact, I can tell you at least 3 to 4. Let's go at least 5,000, easily. Counting the rentals for everything we've gone to, very easily. And this has been a light year. I understand that I'm a little bit of the exception to the rule because I'm doing what I do, and I love what I do. Not everybody invests thousands of dollars a day or a year to talk sports and write sports. Most people, if they're going to do it, they're going to go stand next to the water fountain, go to their buddy's house, go to the local sports bar, local bar, whatever the case is, and talk sports for free. Not everybody is going to invest the time, the money, and everything that I invest. I understand that I'm a kind of a special exception to the rule. But I couldn't imagine being a sports fan and get autographs and get, once I started doing this company, that was the whole purpose of me getting autographs. I want a whole wall full of autographed stuff from athletes, from preferred league guests. I even got local drivers that we've had on the show where I've had them to win contests and stuff. I have their autograph stuff put up. Dylan Martin. And there's Reed Wilson, I think maybe is his name. I make a point to Clay with that, and I wish that every guest that we've had on the show, I wish that they would send in to the 110 Nation autograph pictures. I would love to have, once we finally get into our building and finally have a wall, I would love to have all the autograph pictures that we possibly have of every athlete that has been on the show. We've met, I've collected. It is something that I would cherish. I would never, ever sell any of them off my wall. That's just how I am. It's kind of like me and my tattoos, all of my tattoos, and I have tattoos up and down both my arms. I'm not going to say both my arms. I got one on my right arm. Most people can't see it because as long as I got a short sleeve shirt on, you can't even see it. The left arm is the one that's from top to bottom. And then, of course, I got the autism tattoo on my back, and they all mean something to me. There's a purpose and a meaning behind all of them, just like the autographs. They all represent something, and I don't know. I couldn't imagine being a fan and thinking that little, having that little respect that I would auction it off. So I know people that would go to autograph sessions that are either for free or they may pay $20 to get an autograph or $50 to get an autograph, depending on the athlete, to turn around and go sell it right on eBay. Hey, I haven't met people, and I'm just, why would you waste your time to flip a couple bucks, and why would you not? Why would you not appreciate what you got? Why? I don't. I understand that it's kind of the blind leading the blind in this scenario, and I understand that I know it's hard to tell fans not to do something that we're watching athletes do, and yes, we watch athletes be greedy as hell every single day. When we know that Aaron Rodgers basically makes about $52,000 a minute out on the field. When we know that David Price is going to make about at least $3,000 to $4,000 a pitch. I know it's hard to tell fans that don't be greedy. At the same time, this is an opportunity that you're not going to get all the time. Not every day you're going to get a letter left for you by Kobe Bryant. And I kills me. Oh, got NFL picks. We got picks to talk about. Somebody moved my magazine that has my schedule on it. What is over that? Someone actually cleaned in this house for once. Outside of me. And now I don't even know where my stuff is. Now I'm going to have to pull up this schedule another way versus just having it sitting from me. Well, how? The audacity of it, I swear. While I'm pulling this up, make sure you guys check out our fan pages. Check out mine, Mr. CJ Sports. Check out the 110 Nations fan page, 110 Nation Sports. Check us out on Twitter. You can follow me at CJ Sports 1. You can follow the 110 Nation at 110 Nation. Don't forget, we are on Spreaker. We are on Stitcher. We are on SoundCloud. We are on iTunes. We are on Blog Talk Radio. Many, many, many ways to follow us. And speaking of which, if you're not following us, we're slowly but surely getting there. Once upon a time, about a month or so ago, we was about 25, 26 followers. We're up to 47. It kills me because between social media, the people that check out the show, check out the site, we're about 50,000 strong, easily. Yes, we only got 47 of you following us over on Spreaker. And it honestly, it literally kills me. Because if we can get our followers up to 100 on Spreaker, we can then get ourselves on iHeartRadio. And, of course, you can imagine with one of the largest apps out there, and one of the most used apps out there, you can imagine what that could do with our fan base, how that can help us. We already got shows, and we already got sponsors in line once we finally make this happen. It's a very simple task. It is very easily done to check us out, to follow us on Spreaker. Either if you already have a Spreaker account, all you got to do is find the 110 Nation Sports Show and follow us. I mean, it don't get much simpler than that. And you might have to, it's on the radio station. All you got to do is look up the 110 Nation Morning Show. Let me see, I'm going to make sure it's that easy to find. I'm looking it up right now because I know it's under my, all you got to do is look under the 110 Nation Sports Radio. And that is the simplest way to pull it up. It takes you to all the shows. I just pulled it up right now. It takes you up to, I mean, you can hit net more, and it takes you all the shows, but it takes you to the page with our logo on it. It says the 110 Nation Sports Radio Network. It's got Facebook, Twitter. We ain't got Google Plus one hooked up to it. I think our subscriber via our RSS feed, I think you can pull it that way. Play has got a list of all the shows. That simple. The 110 Nation Sports Radio Network. That's all you got to do. If you don't have an account, and honestly, it takes you like literally 15 seconds to do that, to go there and be able to follow us. Trying to figure out where you go from that point. It might be different because I'm logged in, but it should have a follow underneath our logo. If you don't have a Spreaker account, all you got to do is just use your Facebook to log in. It's going to ask you, and you got permission. They send you like one email confirming that you are now having an account. Then you go follow, and that's it. If you have an account with Spreaker already, it takes you literally 15 seconds. If you don't have an account, it literally takes you like 30 seconds. It does not take no time at all. Help us get to 100. I want to thank the 3 that have gone over this week. Yes, we've grown this week by 3. I got to thank Amy Rook, NCX Game, RF Sports Radio, and Aaron Beavers. All 3 of those have hit us up this week, have gone over and followed us. I got to, show my love and respect for those that went over. We've not talked about it much lately. It's one of those things that we just decided to, for a while, let it slowly but surely work its way up on its own. Like I said, it wasn't much more than a month or so ago. We was only in the 20s. And we know we have all the confidence in the world. We're going to continue to grow and grow and grow. Just like every other thing that is growing about the 110 Nation, if it be our fan base, our BTR listening base, our blog site, everything, our social media, everything surely but slowly is growing. And, I wouldn't really want it any other way, especially on the rest of them, especially the numbers we're getting on the rest of them. The only reason we want the Spreaker to kind of not be such a snail pace is we know what the goal is, and we would love more than anything, our big goal is we're wrapping up the end of 2015. By the end of 2016, obviously, we want to be able to be on our heart radio, and we want to be able to up our 2 plans, and we want to be live 8 hours of the day. We want to provide opportunity to have a third of the day locked up as there is some kind of talk radio show on the 110 Nation Sports Radio Network. It's the ultimate goal, 24 hours. That's ultimately where we want to be. But until we get there, we slowly but surely build ourselves there. By mid-year, by June, July time, we would love to be on and use all 5 hours available that we have every day right now. Right now, we have 5 hours available to us. Right now, we use about 3 hours a day, give or take. I think 3 hours Monday through Thursday, and then and 1 hour on Friday, and that's it. The next big goal, preferably by the end of the year, yes, we would love to have some kind of shows on the weekend. That does not involve me having to do. It's not that I don't enjoy doing it, because I love doing it, and I'm doing it 13 hours a day, 13 hours a week, or 14 hours a week. Forgot we got 4 hours on. Just between help raising 4 kids, having a full-time job, trying to do the mainly duties around the house, blog site, behind-the-scenes stuff, and 14 hours of show, I can't commit myself to any more show time. I just can't. But by midsummer next year, we would love to have committed to 5 hours a day locked in, and then by the end of the year, we'd love to have 8 hours, so we know at that point we already can handle a third of the day locked up. That our next step we know will be going 24 hours. And that's ultimately where we're at. But we want to work ourselves there. And obviously, if we can get our Spreaker listeners up to 100 and we get on the iHeartRadio, it opens up more and more opportunities to bring on more shows just that much easier, helps expand our viewership and our listenership, and it just makes everything that much simpler. So go over to Spreaker, hit us up. All you got to do, like I said, is either log in if you have a Spreaker account or just use your Facebook and open an account and sign up. It takes anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds. That really is all there is to it. NFL, here we go. Another week of the NFL. I tell you what, it has been a crazy season. I started off the season so well. I was like right at 70%. The goal was to get to 75%. The last 2 or 3 weeks have not gone the direction that I wanted them to go. They just haven't. And I had someone want me to join their football pool. Dog, why are you laying on your back? Well, I understand why dogs lay on their back, especially since it's a boy dog, and I just don't want to see certain things hanging right there in my face. But anyway, I had someone want me to join their football pool on and they do their picks on, they want their picks on Monday, but they take the Chiefs don't come out till Wednesday, so we know how that goes. And I ran into this, and I was really blown away by this. Like, I don't understand how people get away with this stuff. But, like, they collect their sheets on Monday before the game, so, that was why I declined to join this football poll this week, because I'm sitting there thinking, I don't know how Matt Schaub's going to perform. I got to see how he's going to perform, at least even against one of the worst teams in the NFL. Yes, my Cleveland Browns, before I can determine if I'm going to pick them against Miami. At this point, I'm leaning towards Miami because Matt Schaub, once again, another pick six. That offense was not that great. And the defense obviously was not that great at all if Cleveland was able to score and keep pace. But what's really insulting is I understand, okay, if the Chiefs got to be in Monday, then the Chiefs need to be out Monday. I don't want the people running it and their friends having an opportunity because their business is closed on Tuesday, so they want them all by Monday so they can hand out the Chiefs on Wednesday. You get an opportunity to watch this Monday night game. You get a chance to kind of observe whether or not you think that Austin Davis is going to help the Cleveland Browns beat the Cincinnati Bengals. Which, he put on a good performance. If Matt Schaub is going to help lead the Baltimore Ravens against the Miami Dolphins, which, no. But you get an unfair advantage. It's just like Shorty's work. Her boss is like the biggest douchebag I've ever met in the world. This man has got two, not just one, but two employees sexually harassed. And it doesn't do nothing about it. Like, just whatever. Like, go ahead, keep sexually harassing mine. I'm waiting for one day and I'll put it out there, Dino's. Dino's Pizza, Spout Springs, out there by Cameron, North Carolina. If you are a local person, do not ever invest your money into one of the shadiest businesses. I have seen a 17-year-old girl get sexually harassed and sexually improperly touched by 40-something-year-old, and then I have watched a 20-something-year-old get sexually harassed and improperly touched by someone her age, and nothing was ever done. It was just kind of, oh, well, we need these people kind of scenario, even though both of them suck and ain't worth a damn. But, yeah, they pulled this whole scam that we're going to take everybody's sheets on Monday except for the owner's brother, and he can turn his picks in Sunday. So, yes, we didn't care. We counted the Monday game, which he gave us the pick on Monday. But where I didn't, and I was like, are you guys just stupid? Is, okay, between Thursday when we turn our sheets in and Sunday, now you have injury updates and players that now are possibly not going to play or now are not going to play that we didn't know Thursday when we turned the sheet. And so now you get a little bit more of an advantage because now you get certain updates, certain injury reports that wasn't available by Thursday when we had to turn it in. So right there, first of all, when you say the sheet's got to be in on Thursday, if your sheet's not in by Thursday, you're not in. Every league that I have ever ran, if your sheet was not in when I said it was in, then you're done. When I make the master sheet, that is it. There's no, hold on, I'll give you my one pick on Thursday. Everybody else turn their sheets in, and I'm going to wait and see if anybody's status has changed Friday, Saturday, or even Sunday. And what really kills me is he didn't turn his Sunday picks in until at least halfway, if not until the end of the game that went on in London. I'm like, are you guys kidding me? Like, I got my money back, and I refused to participate in a football pool that is railing. Who does this? I've ran very successful. I mean, we had the point where we had jackpots almost $4,000. Like, we ran, and I would spend hours on it, but it would be done when it was supposed to be done. Sheets were turned in when they had to be turned in. If you didn't make it, you didn't make it. I didn't let somebody, go ahead, give me your Thursday pick, and then, no. My picks, the way I ran it, you turned everything in by Wednesday night. Before the game started on Thursday, everybody had a copy of the master sheet. Or at least it was available to you. If either I emailed it to you, gave it to your bar or your business, or if you came by, and if you didn't come by to get it, it was still available there for you. It just, you might not have had a copy of it. I have never seen it ever in my life heard of a football pool that said, you know what, we're going to let you have an unfair advantage. Go ahead and give us your Thursday pick. Go ahead and scout the rest of the games and the rest of the players. And then sometime Sunday, before the rest of the games, you can turn in whatever you want on the Sunday game and, pick whoever's winning. Go ahead. Well, we'll give you that advantage. Hell, we're already going to let you have an unfair advantage on injury reports here. And, are you kidding me? But anyway, so I backed out of two. I no longer participate in two football polls. I will stick with the third one. The third one, you got to have your picks in by noon on Thursday, and the sheet's available and emailed to me before the game Thursday night. Can appreciate that. Like that 100%. The way I did it. Well, actually, I had to have them in by Wednesday night. I wasn't running around Thursday to go get sheets. Plus, I had to work, so I couldn't go run around. I needed all mine by Thursday, so I can go home Wednesday night. I can get it all done. And when I went to work, I had a copy, all the copies with me, and, they were all available at 10 o'clock in the morning. The only adjustments that happened is if someone wanted to add something Thursday morning before anybody got a sheet, if I didn't have to email any out, yes, I would give an opportunity, because it wasn't going to be much different from midnight, 1 o'clock when I finished doing the sheet and 9, 10 o'clock before the first sheet got picked up. If you happened to hit me at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning and I was willing to do it, I had no problem doing it. But, no, you're not going to tell me that everybody but one person is going to turn in their picks and they're going to scout everything. But we got some interesting games this weekend. Hopefully I get back on my winning ways. I'm tired of having all these losing records all of a sudden. Things were so much nicer when I was on the winning side of things. Green Bay, Detroit, very interesting game. All of a sudden, Detroit acts like they know how to play football. Kind of weird. For the first so many weeks, they couldn't muster up the win to save their life. all of a sudden they win 3 straight games, and now they're starting to be in contention for wild card talks. And I mean, hell, the way this division's going, they could find themselves on top. It's only 4 games out of first after going 1-7 to find yourself 3.5 games, 4 games out of first place, and sitting, obviously the NFC is only going to have 1 wild card, but 4 and 6 and 5 is the wild card spot. So you're only finding yourself 2 games out of first place, out of the wild card spot right now. Now things look a little bit different. You got a Green Bay Packers team that has played like garbage. In the last 5 games, they have gone 1-4. Quite the exact opposite. This same Detroit team went into Lambeau Field, did something they hadn't done in like 20 years. They beat the Green Bay Packers. And guess what's going to happen at home? The Detroit Lions are going to start off this week. They are going to win. And what's crazy about this is we're going to have a 5-7 Detroit Lions team and a 7-5, and it's going to start closing the gap. It's going to make this race out there in the NFC North to be very, very interesting. I'd like to say that I believe Chicago is going to lose, but who we kidding? They're playing the Minnesota Vikings. They're playing the San Francisco 49ers. We know they ain't going to lose. Interesting game for Minnesota. We'll talk about that in a second. But I have Detroit being victorious, continuing their winning ways, putting themselves in an opportunity to possibly slide in the wild card spot. Chicago, more likely they're going to win, go to 6-6. Atlanta, more likely they're going to win, beat Tampa Bay, put themselves at 7-5. But now that puts Tampa Bay down at 5-7. So now Detroit's now tied with them. Seattle's probably going to win. I'm going to pick them to win. So that puts them at 7-5. But that makes it where they don't lose no ground in Detroit. So Detroit, obviously, I'm not going to say you control your destiny, but win out and hope for the best at this point. That's honestly what is best for the Detroit Lions. Obviously that's what they're going to try to do. But definitely going to pick the Detroit Lions to be victorious over Green Bay at home. And I never thought, especially the way that the Green Bay Packers started off this season, I really never thought I would have picked the Detroit Lions, especially how both of these start off. 2 of probably the worst teams in the NFL, Jacksonville, Tennessee. Jacksonville 4-7. Tennessee, I tell you what, ain't nobody bobbing their head on Marcus Mariota no more, are they? Good God, week 1, he threw, 4 touchdowns against the worst team in the league in 2015, and he knew that, 2014, and he knew 2015 was going to start off the same way, but all the so-called experts out there swore him down that we found our new quarterback. This was going to be the quarterback for the ages here. And Marcus Mariota, even though he didn't do nothing in college, he never won a championship, had his opportunity, had his chance to shine in the sun last year. Had an opportunity to beat the Ohio State Buckeyes, a team that, the Oregon Ducks can beat. They're too fast. They're too this. They ain't nothing. When has Oregon won anything? And when is Marcus Mariota? What, you popular player? Won a Heisman Trophy. That's all it is a popularity contest. It's based on votes. That's why there's a Heisman vote. It's a popularity thing. That's all he's won. Never won a championship. Never accomplished anything in college. Beat up on some teams in a very weak Pac-12 conference. Whoopty. So much of freaking whip-de-doo that nobody is bobbing their head on him no more. 1-4 in the last 5 games, 0-7 in the conference, 0-3 in their division, and they suck. And more so, Marcus Mariota sucks. I will take Jacksonville going into Tennessee, beating the Jacksonville. Yes, I have more confidence and more faith in Blake Bortles than I have in Marcus Mariota any day of the week. Seattle travels to Minnesota. Very interesting game. Luckily, Minnesota doesn't throw the ball a lot. More luckily, they count on Teddy Bridgewater's legs and more so Adrian Peterson's legs. Expecting Teddy Bridgewater to throw 300 yards, 400 yards, hell, really not even over 250 yards. Don't expect him to not turn it over. Don't expect a high percentage kind of scenario. They ground and pound. luckily, that's what we got. Because if this was a legitimate quarterback, Minnesota might win this game. Because it took a couple of years to expose how weak these cornerbacks in Seattle are. Yes, Richard Sherman, you suck. You've been exposed. We understand as a defense, as a whole, yes, you guys are probably one of the best defenses out there. But one-on-one, Sherman's not covering the best receiver. And if he gets stuck not wanting to, but have to cover the best receiver, it's only for part of the route. The safeties help cover that up. The safeties help what makes Richard Sherman look good. Ben Roethlisberger almost threw for 500 yards, almost 500 yards against the Legion of Boom? That's a Legion of garbage. Are you serious? Yes, they got 2 garbage pick interceptions. 1 interception early on, and that was a bad throw itself. I'll give Richard Sherman that. The 2-point conversion, that was a garbage throw, and the interception laid by Landry Jones, that was a garbage throw. Seattle's defense is garbage. Their pass defense. When you let Big Ben, who's not that mobile, he's a pretty big guy, and he can be mobile, but not that mobile, expose you for almost 500 yards passing yards, that's all I need to know. But like I said, luckily for the Seattle Seahawks, Minnesota's not going to go up and down the field passing the ball on you. Teddy Bridgewater does not have it in him. Seattle will travel to Minnesota. Seattle will beat the Minnesota Vikings. Unfortunately for Green Bay fans, you're not getting past Detroit. So it doesn't help you. It just helps prevent you. The only thing it does is just keeps the Minnesota Vikings within one game. But yes, Seattle will. Next game, we got Baltimore, Miami. No Joe Flacco, no Steve Smith Sr., no Dorsett, no defense, obviously, at all. The Cleveland Browns up to the very last play of the game, and it took special teams to win that game for you. Miami, that's something sucks. Miami's so horrible themselves. 1-4 in the last 5 to 12, 4-7 record. I'm going to go to leap of faith. Your better quarterback is Tannehill. Your better receiving core at this point is Miami. Your better running game at this point is Miami. You got to pick your poison on defense right now at this point. I have Miami at home over the Baltimore Ravens. Next game on this, Arizona and St. Louis. Very, very interesting game. St. Louis only won 1-4 in their last 5. Or of course, Arizona 5-game win streak. Just coming off that win against the San Francisco 49ers, a lot closer of a game than it really should have been. But nonetheless, what's Carson Palmer, like 15 or 16-2 at this point in the last 2 years? The man don't lose. As long as he's healthy. And they've outscored their opponents by 126 points, second in the league, third in the league, only behind the New England Patriots and the Carolina Panthers. And what's sad about it is the Carolina Panthers is only by 1 point, and the Carolina Panthers, sadly enough, are still undefeated. That's a whole other conversation that we'll get to here in a minute. But Arizona, St. Louis, obviously I'm going with Arizona. That was the team I picked out of the NFC to be the best. That is the team that is still the best in the NFC, and the team I still have representing the NFC in the Super Bowl, the Arizona Cardinals. Next game on the list, you got the Battle of New Jersey, I guess. The New York Giants and the New York Jets. Two teams that are very up and down. And it kills me because you Lord have mercy. It's two teams that there's a lot of potential, both teams, but they can't consistently put it together. The Giants 2-3 in the last 5 games with a 5-6 record. The Jets 2-3 in the last 5 games with a 6-5 record. I mean, both of them are on the verge of being playoff teams, but they can't be consistent with it. Jets outscoring their opponents by 44 points, and the Giants outscoring their opponents by 14 points. You got Ryan Fitzpatrick, and it's still hard to believe to know that making Ryan Fitzpatrick is an upgrade, and making them your quarterback is an upgrade, but it was over Geno Smith. I would be shocked if anybody's willing to make Geno Smith their quarterback. And the dude is perfect. I don't understand how he's even got a job in the NFL still at this point, or why he even got. I know why he got drafted. I know why he got a job. He played for West Virginia. They played a bunch of the equivalent of JV football teams. He had a padded stats that didn't really represent how piss poor he really was, and that's where we are these days. And then you got Eli Manning, who 1 week can throw 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and go for 400 yards. And then the next week might throw 200 yards, maybe a touchdown, and 3 or 4 interceptions. It just, you never know. And it kills me because the Giants, you got receivers galore. Yeah, Victor Cruz got hurt again, but you got Beckham, you got Randall, you got Hakeem Nicks. You got receivers. You've got, there's plenty of talented receivers for Eli to throw it to. There's no reason that Eli should have piss poor games anymore. This game will put both of them at 500. Like the season is not even started. The Giants are going to win, go to 6-6. Jets are going to lose, go 6-6. Battle of Ohio Part 2. Even though it's been exposed that the Cincinnati Bengals are not as good as everybody thought. Even though it's been exposed that Josh McCown is not going to be the quarterback this week, and as a good thing because he sucks. And it's been exposed that Austin Davis and Johnny Manziel are probably your better quarterbacks. My Cleveland Browns still suck. They're still in contention to get the number 1 draft pick. No sense after 11 games of screwing that up. Have all the confidence in the world at home. They will find another way, even if it's close, another way to lose this game. It's Monday night against the Baltimore Ravens on the very last play of the game to get Baltimore the win. They will find a way to screw this up. I'm not even going to put myself through it. Cincinnati in Cleveland will win this game. Atlanta and Tampa Bay. Atlanta's a funny story to me. 1-4 in the last 5 games. Started off the season with like 6-1 or something, and then have gone there. No, what is it? 5-1, and then they've turned around and go 1-5 in the second half of the season. I don't get it. They were so good. The birds were flying. We thought this was it. Atlanta finally was going to put a season together and is going to make something of themselves. And then all of a sudden, everything just falls apart. And it wasn't like it was a bunch of injuries. The team's still there. All of a sudden, they just act like they can't play football. I absolutely, positively, without a shadow of a doubt, don't get it. But that being said, luckily and thankfully for them, they play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yes, Jameson Winston. I don't care what he's done as a rookie. I don't care that he threw 4 or 5 touchdowns to get the garbage team to tie an NFL record. I don't care. He will never lead a team to the Super Bowl. Well, he's looking at Ryan might not ever either, but I have a lot more faith and confidence that I have Tampa Bay winning going 7-5. Atlanta winning going 7-5. Tampa Bay losing 5. That's how this all this works. Because now you find Tampa Bay 5-7. Now you're going to find the team that Detroit's not going to have to overcome. That's how this all works. And if Detroit keeps winning, there's a possibility they'll sneak in. Unfortunately for Detroit, Chicago has the 49ers. And nobody picks the 49ers. Nobody ever. 3-8. 49ers. Whatever happened to the 49ers? I know what happened. It is funny because I sat there and predicted this. I knew the move to call, and not that I said Alex Smith was this great quarterback, because Alex Smith was not. He was a game manager. He was good as long as he threw 5 to 10 yards. He was going to get you 70%. He was not going to turn the ball over. Yes, he might only average anywhere from 180 to 210 yards at best, but he was going to win you games. They hardly lost with Alex Smith as their quarterback. Yes, it was fun to watch Colin Kaepernick to come out and just run, and defense is not being prepared for him, but we knew it was all going to catch up. The playbook was limited. His talent set was very limited. He was too worried about running the ball. He was too worried about flexing his muscle. There was a lot of things that he was worried about outside of worried about getting better at his football skills, and worried about learning the playbook, and worried about becoming a better quarterback. Now it looks like Blaine Gabbert is going to be permanently the starting quarterback, and it would not surprise anybody if Colin Kaepernick found himself on a different team next year. Not at all. Not one person would be surprised. And with that being said, I have Chicago, which was the laughing stock at the beginning of the season. I have Chicago winning it once again. Already winning 3 of their last 5 games. It is going to go 6-6. Like I said, unfortunately for Detroit, they didn't need to see that. But I have the bottom 2 teams winning and the top 2 teams losing. It's going to put the NFC North in a closer race. And now we're going to have Minnesota 8-4. You're going to have Green Bay 7-5. You're going to have Chicago at 6-6. You're going to have Detroit at 5-7. All just one game. Things are about to get really interesting in that NFC North. As they start wrapping up that season. Houston and Buffalo, I tell you what, Houston, they've definitely turned things around, winning 4 straight games, 4 of their last 5, to put themselves tied with the Indianapolis Colts at this point, 6-5. Very, very unexpected turn of events. I mean, this was a division that we saw nobody above 500, and we were starting to wonder if anybody was going to win any game. Buffalo, up and down, 2-5. 5-6 record, just Buffalo. The rest Ryan-led team, you only expect so much. I'm going to take a leap of faith that Houston is going to be able to go into Buffalo and do some serious danger. Yes, go into the actually only New York team in the NFL and beat the Buffalo Bills. Next game we've got coming up, the Kansas City Chiefs and Oakland. I tell you what, it's funny how that works. Kansas City is 5-0 and are playing lights-out football right now, and it's all changed with the loss of Jamal Charles. I was like, hang on, plugged. There we go. It's funny how that works. The player that was, 30% of your offense, the most productive player on any team in the NFL, you lose him, and all of a sudden you start winning games. I mean, I think everybody pretty much wrote off the Kansas City Chiefs, period, already before they lost Jamal Charles, who fumbled the ball and gave Denver the win, and they were unable to win with them. But more so when he went down hurt, everybody wrote them off. There's no way that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win games. There is no way Kansas City Chiefs are going to be competitive. Here they are on a 5-game win streak, and beating teams. It's not like their schedule got easy. It wasn't like they're beating on nobody. They're winning games. They're being productive. And it's rather impressive to see what the Kansas City Chiefs are doing as of late. because I'm trying to pull up the last 5 games just so I can see their last 5 opponents. And right now they got them favored in the fan vote, 69% to 31%. But they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. They beat the Detroit Lions. They went into Denver, beat the Denver Broncos. They went into San Diego and beat San Diego 33-3, and then they went home against Buffalo. Prior to that, they lost to Minnesota. They lost to Chicago. They lost to Cincinnati. They lost to good teams. Don't get me wrong. And the start of the season with a win over Houston, which Houston was looking like garbage at that point in time. So don't get me. I don't mean to make it sound like, all of a sudden, they were playing nobodies, and all of a sudden they're playing great teams, don't have Jamal Lewis, and things have changed. But they're still playing quality opponents. But now they have less weapons. And the insanity on that, it's just crazy to me to see that. But Kansas City definitely doing good things, and definitely coming together, definitely next man up. Oakland, I find them to be a very interesting team. 2 of the last 5 coming off a win themselves. A team that is on the verge, maybe not necessarily there as a playoff contending team, but definitely there. Definitely, if they don't make the playoffs this year, I would be shocked if they don't make the playoffs next year. Of course, this being a division game, this is probably going to be both divisions in division lockup this weekend. Because that game is going to be Denver and San Diego. But this one is probably the key one to watch because San Diego, there's no shot. They're 3-8. Denver coming off the win against Patriots, even though they're playing in San Diego, yes, there's a chance that San Diego may win. But with Denver having the defense they have and knowing that they are not missing a beat offensively, I'm not giving San Diego much of an opportunity this weekend. But these 2 teams, wild card implications, as you got Kansas City 6-5, you got Oakland 5-6, right in the midst of you got the Jets 6-5, which I have them losing going 6-6. You got Buffalo 5-6, got them losing going 5-7. You got Pittsburgh sitting 6-5, and I am going to probably have them winning. And not 100% sure. We'll talk about that in a second. Got Baltimore 4-7, got them losing to go 4-8. Got Houston winning, but I will have Indianapolis losing to go 6-6. So right in the midst, this is a big game. One of these 2, this game could determine if one of these 2 teams get to advance and get a wild card opportunity. Where we're going to see both of these teams play at a level that we've probably not seen them play yet this season. And with that being said, with the weapons that the Oakland Raiders have at the receiving core, the run game that is not overwhelmed us, but has been consistent, reliable, enough that is giving Derek Carr an opportunity to have enough of a balanced attack that defenses can't just assume every play is going to be a pass play. The defense is playing good, not great, but good defense. At home, silver and black, going to get ugly. I'm going to take the Oakland Raiders at home over the Kansas City Chiefs. Lock them both up 6-6 in this division. Denver goes into San Diego. Like I said, I'm not giving San Diego much of an opportunity. If Philip Rivers could throw for 501 yards, no interceptions, and not win a game, I have no confidence that they're going to beat the Denver Broncos, who has probably the best defense this year and a pretty good offense, even with Osweiler as their quarterback. I have Denver improving their record to 10-2, giving themselves an opportunity to still stay pace with the New England Patriots and the Cincinnati Bengals in hopes to get the number 1 seed and at least 1 or 2 seed, at least get home field as long as they can throughout the playoffs. I think that's critical for Denver, especially if Manning does not come back. Carolina and New Orleans, once again, unfortunately, stuck down here in North Carolina we're going to have to hear once again about the Carolina Panthers being undefeated. Yes, I have no confidence in a team that's won 2 of their last 5, lost 3 straight. Yes, the New Orleans Saints just horrible. This is not the New Orleans Saints team that we've been used to, not the Drew Brees that we've been used to. Once again, the Carolina Panthers are going to win. And once again, we're going to have talks of Super Bowl champs, talks about the best team ever, talks about this, talks about that. The only thing I'm going to have to say once again is you play another team with a sub-500 record. The Carolina Panthers, to this point, have only had one team that they played that is above 500, and that was a slumping Carolina Green Bay. There you go. A Green Bay Packer team coming off of a game that Aaron Rodgers threw 73 yards. Same Green Bay Packer team that gave Detroit their first win in Green Bay in 20 years. The same Green Bay team that gave Jay Cutler his first win at Green Bay ever in his career. So this is kind of the opponent that the Carolina Panthers have played. A very, very weak resume. They have not actually been tested. Their only test this year will actually be, at this point, is the Atlanta Falcons. And we done discussed they started off the season 5-0 and are now gone 1-5. So there's not a lot of confidence. Jacksonville still with a losing record. Houston just now got above a 500 record. Saints still 4-7. Tampa Bay still 5-6. I think Seattle just now got themselves with that win above 500 last week. Philadelphia still the losing record. Indianapolis just got themselves above 500. We've already talked about Green Bay. We already discussed Tennessee's one of the worst team in the league. Washington still below 500. Dallas below 500. So in the remaining schedule, New Orleans is below 500. Very slumping. One of 5 in the last 6 games. Atlanta Falcons twice. The Giants team is below 500, and then Tampa Bay team below 500. So yes, it's great. And I've had a discussion earlier this week. As much as I want to see a team go undefeated, I also want them to at least play somebody. And it's going to happen. Once they get in the playoffs, yes, they're going to get a first-round bye. But the next 2 games, the next game, I'm not giving them 2 games. When they actually got to play somebody, and unless a undeserving below 500 wild card team slips by somehow, I don't see the Carolina Panthers going even to the AFC Championship game at all. But I don't even give them 1 win in the playoffs unless somebody with an undeserving record slips by somebody that legitimately should be your opponent. Philadelphia against New England. I don't care if New England gets down to having no receivers. I am not picking the Philadelphia Eagles to beat anybody. They have allowed opponents to score 45 points or more in both the last 2 games. And even with Gronkowski potentially being out this next week and still no Amendola, no Alderman, I still would pick the New England Patriots over the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, I have. Wow, I wrote down the New Orleans Saints, even though I'm picking why did I put no down? Maybe I've been putting no way in hell. The Saints are going to win. But Carolina is who I pick. I don't even know if I said it aloud. But New England Patriots, I have them all day long over the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, I guess in some people's minds, Chip Kelly's a good coach, just like Marcus Mariota was a good quarterback. I mean, you got 2 products of a very highly overrated college system that never won a championship. I'm still not understanding what qualified Chip Kelly to be an NFL coach when you couldn't do nothing in college football, just like Marcus Mariota. You couldn't win a championship. There was a lot of hype and a lot of talk. You beat a bunch of Pac-12 teams, but once you had to go up against the Big Ten or the SEC or any legitimate opponent, you fell flat on your face. Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, Matt Hasselbeck's 4-0 run as a 40-year-old, the oldest quarterback in the NFL, comes to an end on on Sunday night, and I feel kind of bad. I think at some point that the Steelers defense is probably going to hurt the old guy. I have a lot of confidence in the world that the Steelers at home will put a clinic down on Matt Hasselbeck and the Indianapolis Colts. Oh, you did. And then our Monday night game, which was supposed to be a game to watch, especially since Washington has made a run back. It was supposed to be Tony Romo still in there. He was supposed to be back and led the Dallas Cowboys to their 5th win last week. They were supposed to be 5-6 at this point, tied with Washington, and make this a race for the NFC East. Instead, he gets hurt. They can't muster a win against the Carolina Panthers. Washington playing some very strong football and putting themselves in a situation, if they win, they still hold on to a spot and hold on to the NFC East, tied with the Giants, but have the tiebreaker, and is going to put the Dallas Cowboys. Well, what did Dallas do with their number 1 draft pick? Probably get a running back since you gave away your only really running back that you had. But Dallas falls to 3-9, going to be back there with the likes of the 49ers, San Diego Chargers, just behind the Cleveland Browns. That'll be 2-10, and the Tennessee Titans will be 2-10. But yes, Dallas will lose Monday night. I have Washington being victorious. Yes, victorious. Those are our picks this week. I love doing picks. I hope this week turns out to be a good week. I hate having bad weeks when it comes to draft picks. Don't forget to check me out on Twitter at CJSports1. Check out the 110 Nation at 110 Nation. Check us out on Facebook, my fan page, Mr. CJ Sports, the 110 Nations fan page, 110 Nation Sports. Check out our blog site, www.the110nationsports.com. Check out our company site, www.the110nation.com. Chicago just finished up at home over the Denver Nuggets, 96-89. We're getting ready to wrap up Houston and New Orleans. Houston is up by 7 points with 1:39 left, 101-94. And then going into the fourth, San Antonio with a very commanding lead, 21-point lead over Milwaukee Bucks, 76-55. And like I said, as they head into the fourth. Other games that wrapped up, well, there was not a 2-game streak for Philadelphia. They back on the losing ways. New York victorious over Philadelphia, 99-87. Overtime, it took Detroit to beat Phoenix, but they did it 127-122. In overtime in Detroit, Atlanta loses to Toronto at home. Toronto went into Atlanta with a 96-86. On the ice, right now, you got the Rangers and Islanders tied up with about 1:20 left at 1 apiece. Boston and Edmonton tied up at 0 as they just ended the first. Tampa Bay and Anaheim kick it off here in about a minute, and Winnipeg was victorious over Toronto 6-1. And in basketball, you got the ACC Big Ten, whatever you call it, tournament, I guess is what they call it. Duke is leading Indiana 55-42. UNC beat Maryland last night. That was a big win for UNC after they managed to fall off that top spot. Michigan State ended up coming back and beating Louisville, though, 71-67 today. But try to see what other games are going on in the ACC Big Ten tourney. Wisconsin gets by number 14 Syracuse in overtime. Butler beat Cincy on a late hoop, 17th-ranked Cincy. Baldwin scores 20 as 16th-ranked Vanderbilt routes Detroit 102-52. A lot of great games going on. I'm glad to see basketball season kicking off. College basketball was always fun and entertaining to watch. Let's see, we said Butler beat Cincinnati 78-76. Providence, I think just shifted on Providence over Hartford, 89-66. Then Michigan State, third-ranked Michigan State, 71-67 over Louisville, 24th-ranked Louisville. Wisconsin over Syracuse, 66-58. SMU, 22nd-ranked SMU over TCU, 75-70. Vanderbilt, so we already said Vanderbilt. Later on, we got Gonzaga over playing Washington State here at 11 o'clock. So a lot of great games that have either been played or are in action or will be playing later on tonight. Tomorrow's matchups, Oklahoma against Central Alaska, and number 1, Kentucky gets to play UCLA. So some great games going on tomorrow night in the top 25. Pull up the other games in case there's, especially with that ACC Big Ten stuff going on. Always fun to see those games. That looks like the only games going on tomorrow. No matter how I shifted, there we go. Much better. Much gooder. Any other big games going on that I want to point out tomorrow? I didn't see none of the FCC and or ACC Big Ten tournament. None of that's going on tomorrow. Oh, goodness. Don't forget, Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m., make sure you guys check out the 110 Nation Morning Show. Monday through Wednesday, 9 o'clock kicks off. We got the 110 Nation Sports Show. Thursday night, 9 o'clock kickoff time for Racing with Big Sweat. And then Monday nights at 7 o'clock, we kick off Rubbing His Brakes. And make sure you guys tune in for that. In NASCAR news, Senior VP of Competition is leaving NASCAR. Robin Pemberton will leave his position as NASCAR Senior Vice President of Competition at the end of the year. Pemberton joined the station body in August of 2004 and has overseen all area of NASCAR competition. With a racing career spanning 5 decades, Pemberton has been credited as a key component in bridging the gap between the sanctioning body and the racing community. NASCAR Vice President Mike Helton says Pemberton joined the station and body at a critical time and helped give the series credibility and confidence. Before the 2010 season, the governing body encouraged drivers to show more aggression and emotion, leading Pemberton to declare boys have at it and have a good time. It was a slogan that follows NASCAR to this day, even though they suspended and put mannequins on probation. So obviously that slogan doesn't still pertain to today. Pemberton will help in the transition into new competition led for a balance of the year. I'll tell you what, a lot of moves here in NASCAR this year. With Jeff Gordon leaving, we get ready to see Tony Stewart in his final season. And now this move, you're just seeing a lot of moves. Tony Stewart will get a final crew chief for his final season. Just a lot of moves in NASCAR this year. And right. You're not checked out the last post-race interview given by Jeff Gordon that you will ever hear as a driver. Make sure you check out the post-race interview from Homestead. You can catch it here on BTR. You can also catch it here on Spreaker as well. It was about a 35-minute interview. I had the opportunity to be at Homestead. I had the opportunity to be in the media center. I recorded it. If you not got an opportunity to listen to it, check it out. Listen in. It's a great interview, a great time. Also, we got Kyle Larson interview on there, so make sure you guys check that out. Racing fans, you want to listen to a couple drivers headed down to the Derby, the Snowflake and the Snowball Derby. We got them on tomorrow night on the Racing with Big Sweat show, kicking off at 9 o'clock. Make sure you guys check that out and listen in. Of course, we'll have a great time with that, so make sure that you guys check that out. Like I said, tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, we'll be kicking off another edition of the 110 Nation Morning Show. So you guys got to make sure you guys tune in and check that out, as we have a great time with that in the morning. Miami Hurricanes have reached an agreement with Brett to coach the Canes. Yes, it didn't take long for Mark Wright to find a new coaching job after being let go by the Georgia Bulldogs. The former Miami quarterback has reached a tentative agreement to be the Hurricanes' next head coach pending the completion of the contract talks. A person with knowledge of the negotiations told the Associated Press. The person spoke Wednesday on conditions of anonymity because the deal has not been signed and the university has not announced the hiring publicly. Excited about 2016 coach Wright. Miami running back Mark Walton wrote on Twitter, Wright spent the last 15 years as coach of the Georgia Bulldogs, averaging nearly 10 wins a season and leading the Bulldogs to a pair of SEC championships. He's a South Florida native and played at Howard Schweinberger at Miami, graduating in 1982 when the Hurricanes were just becoming the program that would win 5 national championships in the span of 19 seasons. Definitely a good move for Miami. Definitely a move that Miami really needed to make. They just kind of been non-existent for years. Also making headlines, the 76ers have suspended Okafor for 2 games for his opposite court incident. 6 days after publishing videos of an apparent altercation between Okafor and a heckler outside a Boston nightclub, by TMZ on Wednesday released new footage that appeared to show a second fight involving the 76ers rookie center ended with another man laid out on concrete. Hours after the new video was made public, the Sixers announced that they would suspend Okafor for 2 games. In an official statement, the 76ers, we have made the determination to suspend Okafor for 2 games effective immediately. Okafor is a very important part of the organization and our future, not if he can't get his head out of that. While we are disappointed with his recent actions, we have faith in him as a valued member of the 76ers. We will provide the necessary resources to support him on his journey. In other words, we're going to wipe his ass and titty feed him and help him be successful. There's a lot of things I'm not allowed to say on the radio. I'm being told to watch my language on the show. Anyway, yes, he will find himself with a 2-game suspension as well. So, I think we've covered everything we need to cover tonight. Like I said, make sure you guys follow us on Twitter, at CJ Sports1 for myself, at 110 Nation for the 110 Nation. Like us on Facebook, my fan page, Mr. CJ Sports, the 110 Nation fan page, 110 Nation Sports. Check us out on Spreaker. Help us get to 100 follows. And make sure you guys tune in tomorrow morning for the 110 Nation Morning Show, tomorrow night for Racing with Big Sweat. So then, you guys have a great night.
Hey, check out these sweet reindeer socks. Only 99 cents.
Oh, yeah? Got this Samsung Tab 4 8.0 from AT&T for free.
Free?
Had a hard time finding a stocking it would fit in, though.
Whoa, no need to rub it in.
Rubbing it in would be telling you I got the tablet for free when I bought a new Samsung Galaxy smartphone on AT&T Next. Which I did.
Oh, AT&T, mobilizing your world.
Free tablet requires 2-year agreement. Must activate eligible service on both Galaxy devices. Fees, charges, and restrictions apply. Available at select locations. See store for details.